So, it's getting to a point in leagues when everyone is doing PvM. We are all done with skilling for now. Yes, there are a few skilling tasks here and there you want to complete, but this is the good stuff, okay? The bread and butter of leagues. Massive hits, overpowered relics, and so on. So here are 6 layouts of fragment builds you can use to get the best and fastest experience out of leagues. I'm gonna have some next mass video in the background. You can enjoy the madness going on, or you can learn maybe a few things in this video. Let's get started. Number 1. First off, if you are starting to PvM, the very first boss you should kill is the Pandos God Wars boss, and here is why. Pandos is the easiest of 4 bosses in the dungeon, and you desperately want those tier 4 fragments to get you going and help you along with the other bosses. Here is the full list of all the places you can obtain tier 4 fragments, and out of all those places, Pandos is definitely the easiest boss to get the fragments. Unless you are a Giga Chad and wanna start doing raids beforehand, in which case, Fairpoint man, Fairpoint. Here is the layout you need for efficient Pandos killing. Now keep in mind, I highly recommend you get tier 7 before you start bossing, otherwise it's gonna be a lot harder to get kills and advance your league's account. This is assuming you haven't unlocked any tier 4 fragments yet. If you have, I would definitely add in Saradomin fragment, which counts for absolute unit and knife sets. You need last recall in Pandos, so that should be your main priority. The second one should be twin strikes to get more DPS and faster kills. Third priority should be absolute unit that helps you do longer trips and saves you more time. And the last one is knife surge, which helps you but not 100% needed. Make sure you stay in Pandos until you unlock all tier 4 fragments before moving on to the next bosses. Number 2. So at this point we have to assume you have unlocked basically all necessary fragments needed to PvM. This is where magic comes to play. Samurok Fragment. This is going to be your best friend in the next month in leagues. First, let's start with how do you get 4 magic items related to Samurok. The easiest ones to obtain are Samurok Rope Bottom and Top at the start, the Samurok Cape from Mage Arena, and the Unholy Symbol you can make yourself. The advanced version of this is the Unholy Book, which you need 4 Samurok pages for, aka doing clues. The other clue item is Unholy Blessing, which is best obtained through Heart Clues. Keep in mind to open your clues in Entrana as to get the better chances in obtaining non-combat related items, because you can't get armor pieces when you open your clue caskets in Entrana. Moving on, Dagon High Ropes. This should be your main priority before you start maging. Not only does this set give you 175 points, you also get so many supplies and loot from Laran's keys. It's 3 Samurok mage pieces and it fits perfectly with the fragment. Other options include Staff of the Dead, Samurok Vestment Robes, also from clues, Elder Chaos Robes, and the Samurok Staff you get from Mage Arena. Now, where should you use this fragment and what build should you use? The 3 bosses this works the best on are the Armadillo God Wars boss, the Saradomin God Wars boss, and Salra. There are also Slayer bosses like Kraken, like Thermos Smoke Devil, and of course you can even do things like fight caves with this setup, because the accuracy you get from fragment means that basically you will never miss a hit. For the 2 God Wars bosses, keep absolute unit, keep chain magic and last recall activated for fast kills. On Salra and the Slayer bosses you can swap out the last recall for Draken's Touch or fast metabolism. I highly recommend getting the rune bouts, I highly recommend having 99 magic, and I highly recommend being on ancients with ice and blood barrage. This is a good strategy to learn Salra if you've never done this before, to understand how the snake rotates, and great way to get through fire cape if you're struggling with fight caves. Number 3. Corrupted Gauntlet. How to obtain one of the best weapons in the game. The good thing about Gauntlet is that you don't need any setup, you don't need any pre-work, you just run in, let the fragments / relics do the work for you. The setup I used in Gauntlet was Absolute Unit 3, Knife Sets 3 and Twin Strikes 3. For the melee accuracy, since you always start with the scepter that counts as a melee weapon, even if you don't end up killing Hunleb with melee, the best thing you can have is Absolute Unit 3, which basically does the work for you. You can add in Draken's Touch, you can add in Fast Metabolism, help you stay alive even longer, and Hunleb shouldn't deal more than 6 to 8 damage to you if you're on the right prayer. If you dodge out tornadoes, you basically don't even have to damage Hunleb very much because it kills itself before you die. guy. Tier 1 armor is more than enough. You don't need prayer potions if you're using divine restoration or living on a prayer fragments, because you will never run out of prayer during the boss fight, and all you have to worry about is food. If you're good enough, 10 to 12 food should be enough. If you're still learning, make a full inventory of food and learn the mechanics of the boss while you do it, because you still are very likely to succeed even if you haven't killed Hanlef before. Number 4, Slayer bosses. Now, some of them I already went over. The ones I want to talk about are Hydra, Abyssal Sire and Cerberus. All 3 bosses are very similar in style that you should do them with melee. All 3 bosses use absolute unit. It saves you so much time and effort. Since you're using melee on all 3, twin strikes is necessary for faster kills. I highly recommend 2 prayer fragments for longer trips and not needing prayer potions in your inventory. For Cerberus, I used last recall before I got the Keymaster teleports to bank faster, and it's same recommended for Hydra if you don't have 92 agility for the shortcut and or the hard/elite current diary completed to get back to Hydra cave faster. Otherwise, Dragon's Touch and fast metabolism are very good to use again if you completed Pandos by now and have 4 Pandos items that include the tassels, the chestplate boots and either the war blessing or the Pandos cloak from glues. I would highly recommend using full Pandos at these bosses with the Pandos might fragment. Number 5, skilling bosses. When I mean skilling bosses, I mean 3 things: Salcano, Winterdot and Temporos. The very first thing you should consider is Greedy Gatherer with related fragments to the boss you're doing. So let's say you're doing Temporos. You might want the Chef's Catch fragment so that you get 3 Temporos fish that have a chance to be cooked, and this adds up over time to more points. In Winterdot and Salcano, absolute unit is necessary to take 50% less damage. Greedy Gatherer Winterdot gives you 3 logs at once, and in Salcano you have chance to mine 3 ores at once. Also at Winterdot you can use the glue relic, which has 10% chance to give you glue every time you burn a log. I personally got over 200 hard glues during my 99 fire making grind there. Number 6, last but not least, the raids. Both Theater of Blood and Chamber of Serik are the absolute pinnacle of this league, as they offer so many points, so many tasks and so many endgame items that help you with PvM. Like always, the very first set effect you should be looking for is absolute unit set. It's basically too OP not to use. Now you can choose which fragments to use it with. I will go with Sarah Dominus, Defense, Venom Master and Divine Restoration, as all those fragments have included other set effects in them that could be useful to you. Other 4 fragments I would use is Praying Respects, Larger, Recharger and Barbarian Best Wars. This will give you Nice Edge 3, Twin Strikes 3, Dragon's Touch 3, Fast Metabolism 2 and Absolute Unit 3 set effects. That is 5 different set effects to make sure you get the easiest raids possible, so even if you mess up, you will likely succeed. It's very specific fragments, but at this point you should have all the fragments unlocked and at level 3, so this shouldn't be an issue. This leads heavily on the melee side again, and since you do need all 3 combat roles in raids, try to use the Knife's Edge advantage as much as possible when doing range or mage. Even if you've never done raids before, this setup should be more than enough to get you through your first raids and purples. If you manage to do that, you're looking at purple on every 4 to 5 raids. On average, good luck, have fun. To end the video for Nightmare and Nex, I would recommend similar setups to raids. As you see in the background, for my melee setup, I'm pretty much doing the basic thing. Absolute unit, twin strikes, knife's edge, and I'm even using troll damage to get the troll DPS in. For Warcut, I would definitely go with the Pandos fragment, and everything else should be easy enough that no matter which combat fragments you choose, you shouldn't have any issues killing these monsters. This was fun. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when I upload one of the hardest spoon videos I've ever had in leagues. Bye!